Hey everyone, it's Epoch here, and welcome to my entry into this week's comic book cover challenge set by Alan at Comic Collector Geek. This week's theme is witch covers, so any covers that feature witches or anything like that. This was a little bit of a difficult one for me. I don't have as many witch covers as I thought that I did. But I've tried to make it work with the 10 covers that I've picked out from my personal collection. So let's take a look at 10 covers that cover the theme of witches. First up this week is Jane Foster, The Mighty Four, number 5, or number 24 in the Legacy numbering. This is a comic I literally just picked up this week. It came out on Wednesday on New Comic Book Day. It's not a series that I normally buy. I just picked it up because I really like the cover. It's by Peach Momoko. She has a lot of great covers, and on the cover, of course, we have Enchantress, who is the Witch of Asgard. She isn't doing anything particularly magical on this cover, so that's why it's so low on the list. But I just really like this rendition of Enchantress by Peach Momoko. So that's Jane Foster, The Mighty Four, number 5. And at number 9 this week, we have Scarlet Witch number 1. So this is the first issue of Scarlet Witch's first ever kind of solo series. Again, Scarlet Witch is of course a witch who has kind of like hex powers or witchy type powers. So here she is on the cover, kind of activating her powers there, taking on these kind of demon looking things. I'd hoped to find a more magical looking Scarlet Witch cover, but this is the best I could come up with. So that's Scarlet Witch number 1. The number 8 spot this week goes to Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 8, number 3, which is a beautiful painted cover by Joe Chen featuring the character Willow, who for the course of the Buffy TV series becomes a witch, and here she is on the cover here. Looks like there's kind of a spell happening there, kind of emanating from her hand. So this is just a really nice Willow cover. I'm a big fan of this character. So yeah, that's Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 8, number 3. And at number 7 this week, we have Sabrina the Teenage Witch number 40. This is a cover that I've shown before. I showed it back in when we did the bikini challenge way back in the summer. This is one of the, I guess, few bikini covers for Sabrina. And it also shows some magic happening on the cover as well. We see her changing the sign from no to yes, which is quite fun there. I don't really have many of these early Sabrinas. In my collection, every time you go to a con here, it's hard to find Archie books, especially Sabrina. So I would like to collect this whole series, but only have 1 or 2 issues as it stands. So yeah, for this challenge, I've chosen to show Sabrina the Teenage Witch number 40. In number 6 this week, we have Magic Cop number 1 from Zed Comics. This is a crowdfunded comic made by the Diaz brothers. It's just a kind of a really fun sort of Miami Vice meets kind of the magical world. The main detective here is a kind of like a wizard. He uses these wizard powers. So obviously a wizard warlock is a kind of male version of a witch. So it's sort of a technicality there. But yeah, this is a really fun series with Magic Cop. This is the second printing. I missed it when it was on Indiegogo originally, but I picked up the second printing when I backed issue 2. So yeah, we just have this kind of cool magic cop with his werewolf partner just kind of taking on a mystical crime in Miami. So yeah, it's a really fun one. Magic Cop number 1. My next entry this week is Betin, Veronica number 87, which is another cover that doesn't kind of show the traditional witch, but here we have Betty in the corner here with a voodoo doll of Veronica sticking pins into it. And of course, voodoo is a form of witchcraft. So for the purpose of this cover, Betty is the witch as she kind of sticks the pins into the voodoo doll, Veronica, all because she's dancing with Archie. So it's just another fun one to show the rivalry between the two as they kind of each fight each other for the affections of Archie. So yeah, I just really like this one. So that's Betty and Veronica, number 87. The number 4 spot this week goes to Angel and Faith number 10, which on the cover here we have some sort of modern witches in the background as they're kind of stirring the big magic cauldron there. And as the spell's being cast, we have these kind of books flying around everywhere, and we have Giles in the foreground here just kind of looking like what's going on. So yeah, it's just a fun one to show like a witches doing a spell in progress. So that's Angel and Faith number 10. And at number 3, we have Spike number 5 from his 8-issue kind of maxi series, which sort of linked Angel after the fall with Buffy season 8. This is a Jenny Friesen cover. This is the retailer incentive cover, so 1 in 10 variants. All of the 1 in 10 variants for this series were done by Jenny Friesen. And on the cover we have Willow again, who's casting some sort of spell on Spike here. It's just a really well rendered cover. As I said in the female artist challenge, Jenny Friesen has a really good talent for rendering the likenesses of real people, and this is no exception, and none of the covers in this run are an exception. So this is Spike number 5. The number 2 spot this week goes to Chilling Adventures in Sorcery number 1, which is just one of those kind of fun Archie horror books. Here we have on the cover Madam Satan just sort of casting this spell over this crystal ball. It's just a really nice rendered cover, really kind of well painted and really good at showing the kind of the act of spells in action. So that's Chilling Adventures in Sorcery number 1. And my number 1 pick this week goes to Sabrina the Teenage Witch number 1 from the 5-issue miniseries that debuted a few years ago. I just love this cover. It's by Veronica Fish. And it's just kind of a classic kind of witchy cover, but with a modern twist. We have Sabrina here kind of dressed in her modern clothes. I think she's going to school here, but riding her broom. And we have Salem the cat in her backpack there as she's sort of zooming through the sky. Alan showed number 3 from this series in his video, and I also showed that in the female cover artist challenge as well, which is a really nice cover, so check out that if you haven't seen that. Again, this is the cover A for Sabrina the Teenage Witch number 1, and again it's just a lovely cover showing a kind of a classic witchy pose with a modern twist. So that's Sabrina the Teenage Witch number 1. So that was my entry into this week's comic book cover challenge set by Alan at Comic Collector Geek. Of course, the theme was witch covers. And if you'd like to take part, then just pick out 10 covers from your personal comic book collection that depict witches and make a videos, and use the hashtags hashtag Friday Comic Challenge and hashtag witch cover. And that way everyone in the community can get a look at the comics that you have in your collection that meet the criteria of the challenge. And you never know, you might see something that you want to pick up for your own collection. So if you'd like to check out some of my previous entries into the comic book cover challenge, then please click on this playlist that's linked here at the side, and otherwise I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.